What is up, guys? Welcome back to Overspray. In today's video, we're going to be doing a review on a product called the LUMAiii Aurora 2.
Do you remember how you held me then? Now you got me reaching out. And do you see you got me falling in more times than I can get out.
Alrighty, guys, so today's product, as you guys saw, we're going to be doing a review and open box of the LUMAiii Aurora 2. Now, this particular model, I ordered it for my Techno Pro Light, but obviously they have different models that will fit different guns, and they are gun specific. So this particular one has a fitment for the DeVilbiss Techno Pro, Pro Light, Copper, GTI Pro, and GTI Pro Light. And here is the part number here at the bottom. If you guys want some ordering information, check out LUMAiii.com or LUMAiii and check out all their social medias, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start with the open box for the Aurora 2 and see what is all included in the kit. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start off with the unboxing. Gotta say, the box is actually really nice, and it does have some foam inserts inside, keeping all the components in check. Now, you do get a battery charger. You also get two 9-volt lithium polymer batteries, and these are rechargeable. Of course, you have your charging cable, your charging box or port, and then of course you also get the main squeeze here, a LUMAiii Aurora 2 light for your spray gun. You can see it is the Aurora 2. So basically, what is a LUMAiii Aurora 2? It's basically a light that gets mounted onto your flashlight. So let's go ahead and demonstrate basically how this will actually fit onto your spray gun and how it works. And then we'll kind of get into all the build quality and all the other features that I liked about this light. So to install your LUMAiii or Aurora 2 light, you go ahead and take the air cap off, mount the light onto the spray gun, and then go ahead and reinstall your air cap. You're gonna get it nice and tight, and then also make sure that your air horns are aligned to the lights. That is probably the best way to get the best lighting. Then you're gonna go ahead and slide the light onto the back side of the air cap, and I'll show you what that looks like. So you can see it does slide onto the back side of the air cap. Now, it is a somewhat of a tight fit, so you do have to get some oomph behind it, and it almost feels like you're gonna break the thing, but not quite. It is just a very snug fit, and this is how it sits on the actual light. So you just got to make sure that your air horns are aligned to the LEDs. You do have a little bit of movement there, so you are able to adjust it, but that's basically how it's supposed to sit right here, aligned with both of these air horns. And then we're going to go ahead and install our battery. So here we have the 9-volt battery. It's upside down. Let's go ahead and reinstall that. So we installed our battery fully charged, and then finally this little block in the back, and you're going to go ahead and press it in. And a little struggling a little bit here, but that is basically the gist. Now, to turn on or off the light, you just turn this screw, and it basically just pushes the battery from the back side and pushes it into contact. So you can see that this screw will actually screw in to this kind of this plastic or rubber housing. So it is plastic on the outside, but then rubber on the inside, and it basically just pushes the battery into contact. And once you do, obviously you have a nice bright light. Very cool. I like the idea. It's really innovative, really, and it really serves a lot of benefits to painters like myself, painting in not the best lighting scenario especially painting in a garage. There are some guys in paint booths as well struggling with light. Now, as far as weight goes, you do feel a little bit of the weight, and it does throw the spray gun a little bit off balance. You do feel that weight on the front. So let's go ahead and measure how heavy the Luma 3 actually is and how much weight it'll actually add to your spray gun. So let's go ahead and measure, and we're measuring at a whopping 93 grams. So let's go ahead and change that and see what it measures in ounces. And as you guys can see here, it weighs 3.3 ounces. All right, and aside from weight, let's go ahead and take a closer look at build quality. Now, as we take a closer look, it does appear to be made of either some sort of nylon or possibly PLA or polypropylene. Not too sure on the particular plastic, but as you guys notice here, it appears that they put some sort of plastic epoxy to kind of hold that LED in. And you could see where that epoxy probably penetrated through the backside and into the front. And it does show that it affects the reflective film that is inside. So not really sure how much it really would affect the light's reflection, but I do have to ding it for some points there because, well, yeah, the build quality is not quite there. For a gun, for a light that is this expensive, I would figure that the build quality might be a little bit higher, but let's go ahead and continue on. Now, as far as flex, it doesn't seem to flex too much, and I would say that you do have to be careful installing this because I could see this thing breaking easily. So also the end cap, this is how it gets turned on and off, and you can see it's basically just a screw or a bolt that gets threaded into this housing, and it basically just pushes this battery from the back side. So you can see once this battery gets pushed, the light turns on, and you can actually see a little divot here on the back of the battery. So basically that's all that it does. You could just see that there's just two connectors there, or terminals, and once that battery makes contact with those terminals, by screwing in this bolt, well, then that's how the light actually will turn on. So you can see that it is threaded into the rubber, and the rubber has already came out of the plastic because this rubber piece is actually glued into this plastic cap, I guess you can call it. And yeah, it has already pulled out on me once already. So I would say that for the expensive $200 light, I think the build quality could be a little bit higher on the light itself. Now, one thing that I was actually interested is why they didn't actually put some sort of dimming switch or a on-off switch instead of using this set screw to push the battery. Now, there could be some legality with that because this is a battery-powered light. There could be potential that there is spark, and maybe there's some sort of legality with having a switch. So maybe that's why they used a set screw. Now, as you guys saw me there, I did shake it and the light will turn on and off. So if you don't have that set screw all the way in or all the way out, there is a potential for the light to flicker or turn on or turn off while you're using it. So you want to make sure that that set screw is pushed in so that the battery is making contact. Now, as far as the charger goes, I didn't really see an issue with the charger itself. It's very, very straightforward. You just set your 9-volt batteries in there. They are rechargeable, and they are a lithium polymer batteries, and you do get two. Along with the batteries, runtime is about 2 hours of continuous runtime, and also the capacity is 650 milliamps, and of course the voltage is 9 volts. So you guys do get a pretty decent runtime as far as usage in the spray booth or in the garage or at home. So that is a couple of features that I did like about the Aurora 2. So what was my experience with using this light? Well, I recently used it to spray a bumper cover in my garage. And as you guys know, my garage doesn't really have the best lighting. Even though I recently upgraded the lighting, I tend to still get a lot of shadows. And with this light, I was able to minimize a lot of those shadowings and really see what I was doing. I could really watch the paint as it was laying down and make sure that my coverage was there, and I could also even spot some defects as I was spraying. So that was really beneficial to me, and really I think I can outweigh the cons of this light with the benefits, because really I think I benefited a lot from using this light. And speaking of benefits, there are some additional benefits with this light. You're also able to use it for paint matching. It is equivalent to daytime light. And also, I will say that the LEDs are quite bright. They're a total of 400 lumens, so around 200 lumens each LED. So it is quite a bright light. So with that, I will say that maybe you might have a drawback with some colors, because it's going, like, for example, if you're going to be spraying white, that really bright light is probably going to bounce back off of that white and maybe snow blind you a little bit. So you do have to be a little bit careful with this light, but in other colors it works awesome. And I really didn't see any issues with that, but of course that's going to be tested further as I spray other colors with the light as well. But overall, I think the benefits really outweigh any of the negatives with the light. I will say though, it is quite an expensive light, and this is what deterred me from the light a long time, just because of that sheer price. And not only that, this light is gun specific. You can't use it for multiple spray guns. You do have to use it for the specific spray gun that you buy it for. So that is also a drawback. It would be nice if you could just take this unit off and put it onto another spray gun if you needed to. That way you can basically use it anytime you wanted, instead of having to buy a whole nother light to fit a different spray gun. So that is one drawback, but to be honest, this thing changed my game as far as spraying goes, and I would really highly recommend purchasing one of these lights. Alright, so some final statements about the LUMA 3 Aurora 2. I will say that, well, I think that they could improve some of the design on the tool itself, but overall I think that you know, it's a good tool. I think that this can benefit a lot of people that are spraying in a garage, such as myself, or maybe even professionals that maybe struggle with lighting issues in their current spray booth setup. Then I think that this tool would really work well. And this also can help you with color coverage as well, and also paint color matching. So that is one thing that is going to be very beneficial for those that are pros. Overall, I'm going to score this one a 3.5 out of 5. I think that's a fair evaluation with this tool, and like I said, it could be better, but for the most part, it is a very good tool. Anyway guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Stay spraying, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.